So hi guys, this is GeminiGem back again like I never left with a public sneak peek of the BOGO deals from January 21st through January 27th. So at least let's see how Publix is going to follow up this great week we're having. So let's jump into the deals. So the first deal I'm going to talk about is the Nature's Bounty. So the cheapest at my store I saw was $6.29 for the zinc. So I'm half BOGO state, so I can grab one at $3.14. I think every other state other than Florida is half BOGO. So if you're in a half BOGO state, we do have a great deal. However, this is for the cheapest. So mix and match as you choose. But we have a 6 off 3 Nature's Bounty digital coupon. So if you were to grab 3 of the Nature's Bounty zinc, they are $6.29, so they will ring up for $18.87. But the half price will have it ring up at $9.43 using that 6 off 3 digital. Leave us to pay $3.43 for 3 bottles. Next, the Ricola, the 45 count of the cough drops. They are $6.59, so grabbing one would be $3.29. And we have like the different varieties like the throat care. Then we have the Publix popcorn chicken as well as the Publix chicken bites. They are going to be $5.99. So grabbing one would be $2.99. Then we have the Greenwise. It says the boneless chicken breast, also the thighs and the drumsticks. I only saw the thighs, but hopefully they'll put out more. But they're going to be buy one, get one, different prices. So if you just grab one, it would be half price, of course, if you're in a half BOGO state. Next, we have the ballpark hot dogs. The cheapest I saw were $4.79. So grabbing one would be $2.39. This does exclude the beef. Our Lunchables are $2.51. So grabbing one would be $1.25, as well as the Lunchables uploaders. They're going to be $4.29. So grabbing one would be $2.14. We're going to have the Kraft American Singles cheese for $4.49. So grabbing one would be $2.49 for the Kraft Singles. Then we also have the Velveeta prepared cheese slices at my store. They are $5.39. So grabbing one would be $2.69 for the Velveeta cheeses. Then we have the mini Baby Bell cheese. The 12 pack, 8.5 ounces, they are $8.49 at my store. So grabbing one would be $4.24. Then we have the ready whip toppings, like the 6 ounce is $2.99. So grabbing one would be $1.49. Then we have the Linder's bagels. These are the refrigerated section, the 6 count. They are $3.29. So grabbing one would be $1.64. Then we have the Haagen-Dazs, the 14 ounce cartons of ice cream, all different varieties. They are $5.79 at my store, so grabbing one would be $2.89. So the Coles breadsticks are going to be $5.19. Grabbing one would be $2.59. We also have the Coles garlic bread at $2.69. So grabbing one would be $1.34. And also the Coles Texas toast, which at my store are $4.39. So grabbing one would be $2.19. Then we have the Oreo, the frozen dairy dessert, the 1.5 quart at my store is $6.79. So grabbing one would be $3.39. Also, the 10 cup bags are $10.59 or the box. So grabbing one would be $5.29. We have the Edie's ice cream, the 1.5 quart at $6.79. So grabbing one would be $3.39. Then we have the Stouffer's air fryer meals, the 22 ounce bags. They are $9.49. So grabbing one would be $4.74. Also, the Innovation Cuisine, the family size, it has to be the 36 ounce box. They're $14.49. So grabbing one would be $7.24. Then the Gordon's air fried fish fillets in the 15.2 ounce bag. They are $9.49 for the cheapest, which would be $4.74. Then we have the Farm Rich snacks. They are $4.99 at my store, so grabbing one would be $2.49. I did like the pickles. The Newman's Own Pizza is going to be $8.79, so grabbing one would be $4.39 for the pizza of choice this week, as well as the Jack's Personal Pizza. They are $2.50, so grabbing one would be $1.25 for the those personal little pan pizzas. The Morning Star Farm veggie entrees at my store are $4.99. So grabbing one would be $2.49. Then we have the Blue Zone kitchen bowls at my store. They are $7.89, which is expensive compared to other states, but these are going to be $3.94 if you just grab one if you're in my store. The Miss T's, I'm gonna say pierogies, are $3.49. So grabbing one would be $1.74. Then we have a variety of little snacks. We got the Cheez-Its, the 12 packs of the snack mix or just regular cheese is going to be $8.69, making them $4.39. We also have the famous Amos 12 pack for $8.79, which would be $4.39, as well as the Keebler's mini and the Mother Circus. They're $8.79, so $4.39. The goldfish, the Pepperidge Farm goldfish, are $2.99, so they'll be $1.49. Then we have the Peter Pan peanut butter at my store is $3.41, so grabbing one would be $1.70. We're gonna add the Sargento cheese bakes. They are $5.79, so grabbing one would be $2.89. Then we have the Pyrex, the 75 ounce at my store is $8.29, so grabbing one would be $4.14, as well as the Pyrex, the 35 count packs are $7.89 at my store, so grabbing one would be $3.94. We have Scrubbing Bubbles, the Easy Clean Cleaners. They are $4.99, so grabbing one would be $2.49, as well as the Scrubbing Bubbles, the Foaming Toilet Cleaners, the 2 packs are $4.99, so grabbing one would be $2.49. We have the Hefty Party Cups, the plastic, the 50 count at my store. These are $6.99, so grabbing one would be $3.49. Then we have the Solo Paper Plates, the 44 count. That's the cheapest I saw. They're $3.99, so grabbing one would be $1.99, as well as the Solo Clear Plastic Cups, the 18 ounce, 24 count. They are $4.49, so grabbing one would be $2.24. Then we have the Matter combustible storage bags, like the gallon, the quart, all those. They are $4.99, so grabbing one would be $2.49 for those storage bags. We got the Easy Full pans back again. Now it doesn't say with lids, so I guess they realized we weren't gonna buy them, so they added in the cheaper ones again. So the cheapest I saw is $2.89, so grabbing one would be $1.44. We have the 4 pack of Quilted Northern bath tissue at $7.99. So grabbing one would be $3.99 at my store. The International Delight 32 ounce creamers, $3.99. So grabbing one would be $1.99. We have Clearly Canadian, the 6 pack 12 ounce cans are back. They are $8.99. So grabbing one would be $4.49. Then we have the Olipop prebiotic soda, the 12 ounce cans at my store, $2.49. So grabbing one would be $1.24. We have the Fiji artesian water, the 1.5 liters are $3.09. So grabbing one would be $1.54. We also have the Evian natural spring water, the 6 pack of the 1 liters are $16.99. So grabbing one would be $8.49. But it's a reason why this is spelled naive backwards. So yeah, we're not gonna do that. Then the Built Puff protein bars, they are $2.69. So grabbing one would be $1.35. Then we have the Bloom Greens powder, the super the superfoods and greens, they are $35.79. So grabbing one would be $17.89. The Miss Vicky's chips are $5.29. So grabbing one would be $2.64 for those chips. We also have the Sun chips at $4.99. So grabbing one would be $2.49 for those. We got some repeats for the Utz and Zaps, which they are $4.79. So grabbing one would be $2.39 if you want to grab those. The Snyder's of Hanover pretzels are back also. They're $4.79. So grabbing one would be $2.39 for those as well. Then we have the rib rack pork rinds, the 4-ounce bags. They are $5.99 at my store. So grabbing one would be $2.99. We also have the HK Anderson Field pretzel nuggets. They're in the 24-ounce canisters. They're $8.29. So grabbing one would be $4.14. Our nuts for the week are cashews. They're emerald. They're 5 to 10-ounce bags at my store, $5.29. So grabbing one would be $2.64. Then we have the BOGO 90-second rice. They are $2.89. So grabbing one would be $1.44. We have pastas, the Ruma pasta, the 12-ounce. Cheapest I saw is $3.99. So grabbing one would set you back $1.99. Cheaper pastas, the Mueller pasta is going to be $1.69. So grabbing one would cost you 84 cents. Then we have the Prego sauce. They are $2.79. So grabbing one would be $1.39 for the Prego pasta sauce. If you're wanting more expensive, the Botticelli premium pasta sauces are $7.99. So grabbing one would be $3.99 for the more premium. The Tatarossa tomatoes in a 28-ounce cans are $2.59. So grabbing one would be $1.29. We have the Spice Island spices. They're going to be buy one get one. Now the cheapest I saw is $4.39 for like mustard seeds, which would be $2.19. But of course we have all different varieties and sizes. So get what spices you need. Next, the Bertolli olive oil is $11.99 at my store. So grabbing one would be $5.99 for those. We have the Wishbone salad dressings at $3 at my store. So grabbing one would be $1.50. More salad dressing would be the Kraft dressing. The 8-ounce bottles are $2.99. So grabbing one would be $1.49. So the Kraft mayo, the 19 to 30 ounces are included. So the cheapest I saw was $6.49, which would be $3.24 for one. We got Miracle Whip at $5.89, so it would be $2.94 for one. We also have Cosmo Q rubs at my store are $7.99, so grabbing one would be $3.99. We're going to have Tabasco sauce at $3.49, which would make it $1.74 for one. Also, the Tabasco salsas are $3.89, so it'll be $1.94 for one of those. The College Inn broth, the 32-ounce, the cheapest is the chicken. They're $2.99, so one would be $1.49. Then we have the Old El Paso kits. We got the enchiladas are the cheapest I saw at $4.79, which would make one $2.39. But it's gonna be like the taco, the barrio, the all different kinds, and those are ranging from $5.09, so it'll be $2.54 for one. And we also have a digital, I believe. The paste salsa is $3.19 at my store, so grabbing one would be $1.59. We have an Ibotta offer for the Bare Naked granola, which could be buy one get one. So at $4.99, one would be $2.49. We have the Nature Valley bars. The cheapest at my store is $5.19, so grabbing one would be $2.59. Then the strawberries in something I never heard of before, but the strawberries are $5.99 next week. So grabbing one would be $2.99. And the thing I never heard of before, maybe I'm just late, but these pine berries are going to be $5.99 and $2.99 as well. So yeah, I'm today years old when I heard about these. The Fresh Express salad mix are going to be $4.99. So grabbing one would be $2.49. We have the Koya Elite, like the protein shake. These are $4.99. So grabbing one would be $2.49. And we have the So Good So You probiotic shots at $3.29. So one would be $1.64. The Philly Gourmet Sandwich Steaks are $11.99. So grabbing one would be $5.99. And then we have Jenny O's Turkey Burgers at $11.99, which would be $5.99. And I'm sure we'll have plenty more deals. If y'all like the video. Tell me, do you think our week is gonna be as good as this week? And if you haven't subscribed, you must not be trying to save. See you in the next video. Bye.